Hello and welcome to another development log of Project Third Eye. In this development log, we are going to look at a few vehicle tweaks, a few new tools on the tool gun, this lever right here, and the new 3D modeling capabilities in the game that you can actually save and create maps, for example, with. But more on that later. Let's start with the vehicles. First of all, on the scooter and on the BMX, I locked the roll axis. It's this axis right here. So basically it cannot flip over anymore. Okay, so if you have the BMX like this, it just stays locked no matter what you do. Basically, you can still move it left and right and up and down, but you cannot move it on the roll axis anymore. That makes it a lot more stable. But yeah, just one thing, you still can't turn. That doesn't work. You have to turn with the joystick or physically turn with your body. That works too. So that's one tweak, makes it more controllable if the roll axis is locked. And I've also added a collider at this position right here so that you can do grinds on the frame with the BMX. So let me try to demonstrate this. So remove here. Yeah, that didn't work. Let's go back to the spawn and try this one more time. So it's a bit tricky to hit it at the exact same, yeah, here we go. At the perfect position. That's how it works basically. So it's just that you have to hit it at the right spot to make a good grind on the BMX. And as you might have noticed, I changed the strength of the leg so you can jump a little bit easier. I think you could even do a tail whip in flat ground now, if you're good at it. Oh, I'm obviously not good at it. Yeah, but that's how it works. It's just that the roll axis is locked now, and a few colliders that are new. Same goes for the scooter. It's now locked on the roll axis. That makes it a little bit more controllable. And I've also added this pushing animation, as you can see. So it actually looks like we're riding the scooter properly. And of course, I also added a collider at the bottom with low friction so that you can do grinds. And of course, I increased the jumping strength so you can jump a little bit easier now on this vehicle. Oh, that did not work. All right, that's it with the scooter and the BMX. And last but not least, I made a few tweaks on the skateboard. All four wheels are now physically simulated, and they stay physically simulated once you enter the vehicle. And of course, this way the collision is a little bit more accurate. So as you can see, I can make this Smith grind or this tail slide without any efforts. So in case I get the rail at the correct angle and so on. But yeah, it's from the collision perspective, it's very accurate now. I think I could even do a crooked grind. Yeah, almost. Oh yeah, here we go. Boom! Perfect. Yeah, that's how it works on the skateboard. More realistic wheels. Roll axis locked, more controllable. That's it with the vehicles basically. There you go, vehicles. Then we have a new tool, on the tool gun, and a new feature on one of these tools, which is the freeze gun. So you freeze it, that's what the freeze gun does. And with a secondary button, you have modes now, where you can freeze or unfreeze. So if I set freeze, I can just freeze everything. And if I select unfreeze, I can unfreeze everything, oops. Yeah, that's how the freeze gun works now. And then we have this lever right here. And this lever, I had a lot of complaints about this lever, that if you move the lever, if you put it at this position, for example, and then move it around, it starts to alter its position. So if you put it like this, it will slowly move down due to gravity and the force. But now I added a little bit of friction and a very tiny spring force, so it actually stays in that position. And this way, yeah, you can move it around, but it still stays at that position mostly of course. If you have too much force, of course you can turn it. But other than that, it now works. Oops, that's not the gun I wanted. And we have another tool on the tool gun, which is the weight gun. So we could have a very heavy spawn gun. So right now, I'm not even sure if you can see this, but it's very heavy, and I can make it lighter or heavy, change modes, and then I just need to point at this object, and it gets lighter again. Just like this. You cannot really see this very well on the spawn gun, so let me spawn a dirt bike, and let's make the dirt bike heavy. So the dirt bike has suspension, and if I make it heavier, the suspension should move. Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. We're at 300 kilos right now. Great. So that's basically a very heavy dirt bike now. Yeah, very heavy, very unusable. Let's get rid of it. And I added another tool on the tool gun. This one's called Railgun. So you can see these rails over here. I set these up manually, but then I realized I could simply make a tool for this, and boom, there we have a rail. So that's very cool, because this way you can have your own maps and then put a lot of rails into them. And I think you can even delete them. Let's try this. Yeah, you can even delete them. Okay, so railgun. Let's make the world's largest rail very quick. And let's see what vehicle we're going to use on this rail. Let's go for the scooter. Let's go. I hope I hit it at the right angle. Almost. Very nice. So you can have very long rails. Oops, that did not work. However, that's how it works with a rail gun. You can just have a lot of rails, which is very convenient. Okay, let me check my notes really quick. And yeah, it looks like we can go to the last feature, which is the new 3D modeling capabilities. All right, and it all starts with the default cube. Let me put it somewhere. Oops, I already screwed up. Let me put it somewhere over here, the center. Right. Okay, so here's how it works. We have faces. That's a face, surface, and that's an edge. And you can select both of these things. Right now it's in snapping mode, as you can see. You can select an edge, or you could select a face, and it snaps in 25 centimeters or 0.25 unit steps. So you could alternate the position and the size and so on. But you can also extrude some vertices. If you select this one, for example, and then press trigger, you can have another face pulled out of this other face. And yeah, then you could change this like this, for example, and then you could extrude this one more time, and then you have something like this, or go into this direction, extrude this one more time, extrude this downwards, and so on. So you can have all kinds of structures. And the best thing about this is you can save it with the saving thing. Let me demonstrate how that works in just a second. But first, let's look at the fact that it has colliders. So it even has collision and everything. And yeah, you could make ramps with it. I think it could work something like this. So that's the start of the ramp. Then we make an extrusion. Here we go. That's the first extrusion. Put it up by 25 centimeters and then pull. I think I need to get this edge up just a little bit. Yeah, just like this. So I can still grab the face. Then have another extrusion. Get the face up one more time. Another extrusion. Yep. And pull the face up. Just like this. Okay, so that's how you could make ramps, for example. And then we could... Oh, Jesus. I'm completely lost. And then use the dirt bike on it. if we could get it up there. But wait, I can just build a ramp for this. Just like this. Perfect. Yeah, maybe that's not... And of course you have to be careful with your topology, so you don't accidentally screw this up. Alright, now let's get on this vehicle. Perfect. Yeah, that's how you could build a ramp. Of course, this environment is not perfectly suited for it. And the best thing is you could build entire maps with this thing. Okay, let me show you how this is going to work. First of all, you start with something like this. And then what you need to do is you have to invert this, just like this. So you basically pull it inside out. And then you could make it a little bit larger. And now I only need to jump into it. Now I'm inside of the structure and boom, here we go. I could extrude this wall just a little bit, extrude it one more time. Then I could, whoops. Then I could pull this inwards right here. So I have some kind of a door. And as you can see, the UVs of this adjust automatically. So I can even use this grid as orientation. And I can also, oops, that was not my intention. Yeah, however, I also already saved something, so it's completely savable. And let's select it, boom. And now we're in my saved house that I built. I did not spend too much time on it, so don't be confused. All right, so that's the structure I made. And I can even change the material of this. Yeah, very convenient. And yeah, I just need some kind of UI so that I can cancel the edit mode, because right now you can see all the edges, of course, which is not what you want. And yeah, once you select the saved item, or the selected, the saved map, that's what I want to say, you can actually continue editing the whole structure. Oops, that was not very smart. This edge, I wanted this edge. All right, and then we can extrude it and make a large corridor. Okay, so that's how it works. It's super easy and very handy. Yeah, I just need some UI so I could turn collision on and off, or get rid of the editing itself, or yeah, maybe change the snapping size and so on. But other than that, I think this is such a great feature, and it will be usable on Android, and even the saved items will be usable on Android. So finally we will have some kind of maps on Android. Yeah, that's the plan. And that's it basically. Now follow the development of Project Third Eye, and the update is coming soon.